Studio 5 is seconds away. One man is Lauren Daigle's music director. The other is a member of gospel music royal family. And both are here in Studio 5 to talk about music they've made together. And she is the best-selling gospel artist of our time and a pastor. We're sitting down with Ce Winans. Plus, the Duchess of Sussex is here to talk about a royal Disney project in the works for her. All that and more starting right now. Welcome to Studio 5. We have lots to get to this week, and it begins with the countdown of the top 5 stories in the world of uplifting entertainment. At number 5, a hungry and humble Kyrie Irving.
It's a mantra that my dad gave me to really live by through basketball and life. Just always having the hunger for more and always striving for perfection. And then humility is one of the most important things that makes me who I am.
The Brooklyn Nets player opens his heart and his wallet.
Helping out WNBA players during the 2020 season. Irving is starting a fund with $1.5 million for players who decide to sit out of the season. In a statement, Irving said, whether a person decides to fight for social justice, play basketball, focus on physical or mental health, or simply connect with their families, this initiative can hopefully support their priorities and decisions.
At number 4.
It's true, Doc. I'm a rabbit, all right. Would you like to shoot me now or wait till you get home?
Happy birthday, Bugs Bunny.
He's the world's most famous rabbit, and he's now 80 years old.
Bugs made his debut in the 1940 animated short A Wild Hare, opposite his classic nemesis, Elmer Fudd.
Welcome to my shop. Let me cut your mop.
Bugs Bunny since appeared in hundreds of cartoons and specials. He was the first cartoon to get his own postage stamp and remains a beloved cultural icon to this day.
You keep out of this. He doesn't have to shoot you now. He does so have to shoot me now.
The countdown continues with number 3 in just a little bit. Nashville Life Music provides the weekly soundtrack for Nashville Life Church, and the worship band has now released its first full-length studio album. It's called Here for Jesus, and band leaders Alvin Love III and Dwan are here to tell us all about it.
Just think of one good time that you've been blessed. I'm sure you can find one thing that God has done for you.
That's a fresh yet familiar sound from Nashville Life, a church worship band and recording artist with a new project, Here for Jesus. This is your first studio project for Nashville Life?
It is. Our last 2 have been live, and this one was an in-studio album. Yeah.
Was it intentional to take us back to the 70s?
Yeah, intentional, kind of progressively. We started writing some songs, specifically the single "Sing a Song," started in that era in terms of style and genre and sound.
Sing a song to the one who's been loving us since forever. Sing a song to the one who's been there our entire life.
The masterful music makers behind this unique gospel sound are Dwan and Alvin Love III, who together earned Grammy honors for their work with gospel great Ce Winans.
We just started talking about maybe pushing that further and writing more songs that specifically would be influenced by the 70s, and that turned into the record.
What's been the response? I know it's only been a few days. What's been the response thus far?
So far, it's been good. First off, our church, Nashville Life, they've been responding really, really enthusiastically. And then just friends and family and just comments on Instagram and social media, YouTube. I've just been seeing people talk about how much they appreciate how different it is. And it's been pretty nostalgic. A lot of my friends' parents are really loving it. I think are really getting some nostalgic vibes with the 70s references.
Now, I have to ask, since you mentioned your friend's parents, what about your mom and dad? For people who don't know, your mom is Ce Winans, who you produced for, and Dwan as well produced for. What'd she say?
She loves it. They actually just had an 8-hour road trip the other day, and they said they were listening to it on repeat, and they had a little dance party in the car. So they FaceTimed me from the car, and she was just screaming and dancing to it. So I think they like it a lot.
One of my favorite things is still to sit at a piano and just play some of my favorite songs. Something about those black and white keys that just give me joy and peace.
When not leading worship at Nashville Life Church, Dwan is also a recording artist and music director. Dwan, you have served as music director for Ce Winans as well as Lauren Daigle. What's the difference in working music in your church versus working with some of those beautifully talented solo artists?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, church happens every week, every day. Church doesn't stop. It's interesting. Lauren's situation, she only has to do ministry in the stage sense of things, venues, show, travel, when there's an event booked, whereas church happens every Sunday. And so if you think about it, we're doing a new show every week, new arrangements, new songs, new camera. I mean, it's just everything every week.
New team members.
New team members. Yeah. So Lauren goes out with the same band, same singers, same sound people. Ours rotates on a weekly basis. So when you really think about it, it requires the grace of God and the power of God that it actually happens at the level that we need it to happen, or I believe that God wants it to happen.
All glory, all glory, all glory to you, Lord. All glory, all glory, all glory to you, Lord. Yeah.
Here for Jesus is a follow-up to the Nashville Life's hit live recording called Taylor House Sessions. That project produced a Billboard Top 5 single and earned the band a Dove Award nomination for the song My God, which featured Mr. Talkbox. Both albums, by the way, are available right now wherever you get your music. Still ahead. Pastor, singer, and Alvin Love III's mom, Ce Winans.
As a mom, I would work during the day or late at night in the studio, and when I get home, I would just weep and say, God, you're so faithful. You're so faithful. And I saw his faithfulness to the next generation through working with my son.
Daddy?
Yeah, buddy.
How many nickels are in a dollar?
There are 20 nickels in a dollar.
How do birds fly? Does milk really make my bones stronger?
Yeah.
Daddy, when we die, will we go to heaven?
Do you have the answer to life's biggest question? Call the 700 Club. We'll help you find answers to the important questions life brings your way.
Watch breaking news, in-depth exclusive stories and programs from health to entertainment you won't find anywhere else. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. Enjoy credible news reporting from around the world. Discover inspiring programs and stories of hope, all in one place from a Christian perspective. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. To watch the CBN News Channel, download the app or visit cbnnewschannel.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. David Perlmutter, board-certified neurologist and #1 New York Times best-selling author. Wouldn't it be great to boost your energy, eliminate brain fog, and even reverse brain disease? Well, you can, and I'm going to show you how, along with some of the world's most well-respected brain experts in this DVD, Protect Your Brain.
Get Protect Your Brain, a free DVD only from the Christian Broadcasting Network, featuring experts on the cutting edge of neuroscience and brain health.
No matter how many times you've failed in the past, you really can do this.
In Protect Your Brain, you'll discover simple strategies to keep your brain young and healthy. Improve your memory. Discover the gut-brain connection. In Protect Your Brain, Get your free copy at CBN.com or call 1-800-700-7000.
If you want to improve the quality of your life, get the DVD Protect Your Brain and get it today.
At number 3.
Honey, it's so good.
Yeah?
Have a good day.
Me too.
It's a Studio 5 first look at an inspiring story of a teen with big culinary dreams. Then suddenly, doctors diagnose him with mental illness.
I have schizophrenia, a chronic mental disorder, allowing for visual and auditory hallucinations. Never normal. The end.
Words on Bathroom Walls is scheduled to be released this summer.
For the first time in forever, I felt normal.
What's with the cookbooks?
I'm sort of studying to be a chef.
Sort of? Where are you?
What? Don't look at me. Look at her. You have a problem with eye contact.
Do you always say exactly what comes in your mind?
Well, it's best to say exactly what you mean or nothing at all. Unrelenting honesty, you know?
You know, when I first met you, I thought maybe he's just awkward and unsocialized, but that's not it. There's something else.
I don't know what to say to that.
I'll crack you, Petroselli.
At number 2.
Kiss me up.
You have identification on?
We're just on our way to work at NASA, sir.
I had no idea they hired.
There are quite a few women working in the space program.
Hidden Figures earned Oscar nominations following its 2016 release. And now Disney is hard at work, creating a Broadway musical of the story of 3 brilliant African-American women working at NASA.
You're a computer at NASA. They let women handle that sort of...
Yes, it's an uphill battle.
Yes, they let women do some things at NASA, Mr. Johnson. And it's not because we wear skirts. It's because we wear glasses.
Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson were the brains behind the launch of astronaut John Glenn into orbit.
We go from being our father's daughters to our husband's wives to our baby's mothers.
You've been gone for 300 hours.
Was Mama gone for 12 and a half days?
No, but it felt like it.
It felt like it to me, too.
And welcome back to Studio 5. We will continue the countdown with the number 1 remaining story in just a little bit. We've heard from the music leaders of Nashville Life Church just a few moments ago, and now we're going to check in with one of the founding pastors of the church. She's also gospel music royalty with a dozen Grammy Awards on her shelf. We caught up with Pastor Ce Winans following the release of her album, Let Them Fall in Love, produced by her son, Alvin Love III and Dwan Hill. This old school vibe is just one of the new sounds you can sample. It's called Let Them Fall in Love. Your son, Alvin III,
yes,
did a lot of the producing on this.
And writing.
And writing it. Did you catch his vision immediately?
No. Of course not. Probably about 6 years ago he came and said, Mom, I got a great idea. He shared with me the idea, you know, Mom, it's going to be really cool. My generation is going to love it. So you already know right then. I'm like, your generation? Okay, wait a minute. But when I got it, I got excited. I was like, oh, this is going to be really, really good. It's going to be fun. I have to say, I knew he was gifted and talented going in, but I found out a whole nother level that I didn't know that God had really blessed him with, you know, downloaded in him. So as a mom, you know, I would work during the day or late at night in the studio, and when I get home, I would just weep and say, God, you're so faithful. You're so faithful. And I saw his faithfulness to the next generation through working with my son.
That's beautiful. And your son helping you and your husband at your church as well?
Yes, my son and daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they're both very involved. They're preaching and teaching. So it's a family. It's a family ministry. Yeah, we're all doing this. We were all very surprised by the call, but we've all embraced the call. And we started Nashville Life. So it's a church full of millennials on fire for God. We're teaching them how to be disciples. We're making sure the main thing remains the main thing, and that's just loving God and loving people.
Many people watching are going to want to know, what is your secret for reaching that generation? Because they're leaders in churches and looking out into the audience and not seeing them.
From what we've learned, my husband and I, since we've been pastoring the millennials, is that They just want the real deal. They don't want all the stuff that we think have to be church, the traditional stuff. And trust me, I love a lot of the great traditions, but they want it simple. They just want a relationship with Jesus.
A surprise to me, I'm sitting at home watching Greenleaf, and I see the Winans last name on one of the lead characters.
That's right.
And I'm thinking, surely not. So then I look. Okay, so your niece is an actress?
My niece is an actress. Everybody thought, they didn't know if it was me, if it was my daughter, my niece. I'm like, guys, she's way younger than I am. Thank you very much, but it's not me.
Daddy, I think the charity is just trying to...
Gigi! How many times do I have to tell you I don't need you looking out for me?
And you know, Joy never sang before. People don't know this. She never sang before she did the show. And so she called me and was like, Auntie Cece, I gotta come to Nashville. I said, you coming to Nashville for what? I gotta go to the studio. I was like, what? And she was like, yes, can you please come help me? Can you please? I was like, Joy, you got it in you. You know, I knew she could sing, and she had to find her own voice. I said, don't try to be anybody else. You're unique. Use what God has given you, and He'll bless it.
Are there any Winans who can't sing?
Are there any None that I know of that just don't sing at all. No, everybody sings a little bit at least. That's beautiful.
Ce Winans pastors Nashville Life Church alongside her son and her husband, Alvin Love II. They've been married for 36 years and counting. We need to pause for a brief moment here, but before we do, it is time to say it in pictures. Here's this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. America is mourning the loss of television icon Regis Philbin. His career spans nearly 6 decades, but his big break came in 1988. When his New York talk show went national. Philbin wrote nearly a half-dozen books, appeared in movies, and recorded as a singer. He died Friday at the age of 88, and his life well lived is this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. Coming up.
The herd does need to drink, and they do trust Gaia.
That's the voice of the Duchess of Sussex at work on a royal Disney project.
These creatures are so majestic, and at the same time, they are so sensitive and so connected.
Studio 5 has a look at elephants next.
If you want to be an attorney with a passion for serving people and for excellence, Regent University needs to be high on your list.
Regent's award-winning law school doesn't just create lawyers. We create leaders, judges, prosecutors and defense lawyers, civil litigators, and leaders in government. Ready to become a purpose-driven, practice-ready lawyer? To start your rewarding career, complete the online application, submit your transcripts, and take the law school admissions test by July.
Nutrition, exercise, essential oils, weight loss, and more. It's Healthy Living with Lori Johnson.
Talk about what's in this.
Join CBN health reporter Lori Johnson to get the latest information from today's top health experts.
This is fantastic.
Find out what you need to know to live a healthier life. Watch Healthy Living, Tuesday night at 9:30.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
Millsburg Falls man, come.
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes too, and so much more. Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon. It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
Welcome back to Studio 5. We turn now from gospel music royalty to British royalty. The Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, has lent her voice to the Disney Plus documentary Elephants.
Gaia makes the call to leave, and Shawnee helps rally the herd. At least leaving this place will be far easier than arriving. Where they once had to swim, they can now walk. On the mainland, Gaia can lead her family on the long road back to the Delta. They'll travel through shaded woodlands where possible.
The Kalahari Desert in southern Africa. These elephants are setting out on a 1,000-mile round trip, one that could take up to 8 months. This is a side of elephants we rarely see. I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of bringing this story of elephants to life. These creatures are so majestic, and at the same time, they are so sensitive and so connected. I've been very lucky to be able to have hands-on experience with elephants in their natural habitat. When you spend time connecting to them and the other wildlife, you really understand we have a role to play in their preservation and their safety. We see in this film just how remarkable they are. Their memories are amazing, their close connection of the herd, their protectiveness of their young. I think they're a lot more like us than they are different. I hope that when people see this film, they realize how connected we all are. And if we had more of an awareness about the obstacles they're facing, I think we take care of each other, this planet, and animals in a very different way. That's why it's really important for me to be able to help tell that story.
Elephants is streaming right now on Disney+. There's lots more of Studio 5 ahead, including this look at this week's #1 story in our countdown of uplifting entertainment news. At #1.
Everyone has a story.
All young women are to be taken to the palace.
The choices we must face.
For the first time, Sight and Sound Theaters brings a live televised show to the world.
Esther was placed in very difficult circumstances, and she had the courage to stand up for her faith.
Streaming its new stage production, Queen Esther, Friday, September 4th, exclusively on its new platform, Sight and Sound TV.
It's about courage to believe that God has a master plan, that He works within our faith to bring all things together for His good.
Just moments away. The music makers behind Nashville Life are back with a final word.
Come home to the sounds of Southern Gospel from CBN Radio. You'll enjoy a rich Southern blend of bluegrass, classic gospel, and Southern gospel favorites like the Gaithers, the Crab Family, and bluegrass sounds like Mountain Faith. So make yourself at home with the all-new CBN Southern Gospel. Now available at cbnradio.com.
Meet the pastors who are preaching the gospel in a fresh, fearless way. I'm Roberto Torres-Cedillo. Join me each week for Next Gen Voices. And watch God transform a generation.
Prophecy thousands of years old,
We were called to be a light to the world.
being fulfilled today. Discover how. Get to life. Call 1-800-700-7000.
We consider it our duty to reach out and help others around the world.
For a gift of $10 or more, you can own the acclaimed CBN documentary To Life. Just call 1-800-700-7000 or log on to cbn.com.
To treat a human, no matter what he is, which religious he have, which color he is, this is what I'm doing.
See how the people of Israel are fulfilling prophecy
History is being written, and I want to be a part of it.
by sharing their knowledge
In Africa, in Asia, in South America, in East Europe.
and their love.
This is how we work. This is us.
Get to life. Call 1-800-700-7000 or log on to cbn.com.
Welcome back to Studio 5. There's always music playing in the background of putting this show together. Nashville Life is certainly on the soundtrack this week, but so is Jonathan Mcreynolds and the single, He Knows. Take a listen.
Only God knows. He knows. You may not know, but He knows. I can't even tell it. He knows. He knows. I won't explain, but He knows. He knows. He knows.
Well, on that musical note, we are almost out of time for this edition of Studio 5. So let's look ahead and see what's on next week's rundown.
Why so heavy on my soul? Did you forget who's in control?
Rebecca St. James is singing again. Her first studio project in 9 years.
Why the long absence?
About 7 years ago, I kind of unofficially retired and really sensed that it was time for me to just move on from a really concentrated season of music. And really, when I laid down music that 7 years ago, I kind of thought I may never pick it up again, but God radically changed my heart about 3 years ago and called me back to music, and here I am.
Come be still, oh anxious heart. Find rest here in the Father's arms.
Hope you'll come on back and join us for that and so much more next week. But before we end this week, we have one final question and one final answer from the men of Nashville Life. So let's check in with Alvin Love III and Dwan Hill.
Set out to do this, it was just our lives. Like that first group before we were Nashville Life that was at my parents' house was just a reflection of my friend group. And I've always just had a pretty mixed friend group. And I'm grateful that the church has able to sustain that over the past 8 years.
Thank you, Dwan and Alvin. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.